So going back to the first part of the anxiety, and that is working with stomach meridian. And with these two fingers I'm going to tap on my cheekbones in line of my eyes, and this is where I'm going to tap, and I'm going to tap mindfully, as in slow and recognizing what the tempo is that I want. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, and stopping. And just feeling, how does my body feel? And then going back and tapping again. Tapping with two fingers. Make it not too soft unless it's painful for you. Then you can tap softly, but otherwise you're tapping on bone. Just going to stop and just check in. How does that feel? I did this exercise last Monday. I did this maybe every 10 minutes. As soon as my mind went to worrying about my dog, I started and went back and I tapped. And you can just tap, gosh, I don't even know what I'm tapping. 10 seconds? 15 seconds? And then stop. And with that, my energy is going down through my legs into my feet, because that's where I want to be. I want to be present in my body, because then it doesn't matter what is going on around me. As long as I am in my body, I can take a lot of stress, to say it that way. And then, after tapping on my cheekbones, I went to the fear tap. The fear tap is a tapping that comes from EFT, and it works with the triple warmer meridian. In between these two fingers, the small finger and the ring finger, I go over the top of my hands to where I can, this is soft and then suddenly this is getting hard. So it's halfway between these fingers. This is the place where I want to be. And I'm taking my three fingers in the width and I'm going to tap here. I'm going to place my hand on my heart, because this is very grounding. And you're tapping into your feeling when you tap here. And again, you're doing this consciously, and you start to tap. And you breathe. And then you stop. I leave my hands on this position. Just notice how you're feeling. And you start to tap again. And you breathe. And you stop. And if this is enough for you, then you stop here. And otherwise you switch hands and you start to tap again. So we're doing the three fingers, going in between the two fingers on top of the hands, and just tapping. Notice when I do this, I am almost always got my eyes closed. It's a way of bringing myself back into my body. What am I feeling? How am I feeling this? So many of these videos I've got my eyes shut. Let's start tapping again. It's just an easy way. How am I feeling? How am I coping? How am I coping with this stress? And stop again. So these two, the grounding thump and the fear tap, I did continuously last Monday. and I, in the beginning, did it a very, you know, I don't even know, I maybe have done it every 10 minutes just to get myself calm, and then in later in the day, once I'd heard that they were operating on him and how it was going, I also, my anxiety went down and I could do it less. But it's a good thing to know. This is more for grounding, the anxiety, this is more for the fear. And you can feel the two differences, what you need. So I can't say how much you should do it, or it's just showing this is what helped me and this is what you can use to work with your own anxiety when you have that. And as you can see, these two exercises, I was doing my housework, you know, I was vacuuming, and then I noticed I would stop, have my vacuum around my arm, and I started tapping on myself. You know, you can really do this while you work through your day. You can easily do this when you're sitting in the car and you need to go somewhere that's making you very anxious. So don't do it while you're driving, but you can obviously do it when you're still in the car and you need to step out. Do this, it'll ground you. Yeah, you can see it's easy. So this is a brilliant one for what you need for anxiety. And the second exercise is for when I really thought I've got some fear issues of stepping out into the world, getting back into my normal life, and I'm a little afraid. I am a little afraid, and I want to deal when I'm afraid. I want to deal with it. I don't want to leave it in my body. And what a lovely tool is to work with is to hold your head. And I'm going to show you standing up, but I would really advise you do this in your bed. Go to bed and lay there, because it's just so much more comfortable, but also it's safe. And that's one of the things that we need. When we are fearful, we need safety. And what is a safer place is to be in your own bed and have your pillows around you. And then you place your hand on your forehead and you place your hand on the back of your head. So this is the occipital ridge, and I've just got my thumb on the first hard bits, and I've got my hand, let me see, maybe you see it that way better, got my hand over my head, and as you can see, this is so much nicer lying down. But if you are sitting up in a chair, obviously you can do this. If you've got a nice sunbed, you can lie in this. If you're in your living room and you're on your sofa, you can do this. And this is just holding the thing, holding your head and thinking of the thing that is making you fearful. And not only just thinking of it, actually maybe saying it out loud for yourself, because it helps you to stay focused. Because you do not have to let go of your fear. You are going to notice when you hold this, the blood and the oxygen will come back to your brain, and it will start to get oxygenated, and your fear will start to dissipate. Now, I'm using English words that I'm not quite sure if I'm using the right ones, but it's going to get weaker. It's not going to have this stronger hold on you, and that's really, I find it an exciting sensation to notice that I'm really fearful, and I hold these points longer and longer, and I just notice I can say it out loud. I'm fearful of going back to my massage therapist and that she works on me, and I notice after 20 minutes that actually that fear is no longer there, and there is room and space for me to breathe again. So I advise you to maybe talk out loud to yourself, to say it, and if that doesn't work for you, I would make a sound, and what I do a lot is breathing. So it's kind of breathing in and breathing out with a sound. So that kind of, that you're kind of shaking it out. You breathe in. And then maybe you just wait a couple of minutes and then you may do that again. And I can already hear myself, that's already less charged than the very first sound that I made. So there's really a difference. It's also just with the breath, that emotion goes out with the breath. Yeah, it's getting lighter, it's getting lighter. So you can see this is a really easy exercise to do. I must say my head is getting warm from this, but just lying down, I'm going to release, lying down, pillows under your elbows, just so that you can get this real relaxation. If you want, put the covers over you, this is really private time for yourself. It's really nourishing. It's really, you're taking yourself serious, that you do have fear issues. And what would you do if you were opposite yourself? You would take care of that person. So that's what I'm kind of inviting you to do. Take care of yourself. Take yourself serious and try these tools and see if you can just work through this fear that you might have. Right.